We're making our descent, approaching Holloman Air Force Base in Oklahoma. It is exactly 9:26. Isn't that a beautiful scenery, hon? Yeah. We're supposed to be landing in about 5 minutes. What happened is we just finished eating breakfast. We had 2 sausages, scrambled eggs, 2 pigs with some type of jelly sauce in it. Very nice. A glass of orange juice. It's real nice. All of the people are very nice. And I hope that you enjoy this beautiful visual sight. Look at that, as we broaden the horizon here. Check it out. Isn't that beautiful? Gosh. And as you can see, we're getting lower and lower and lower. Superb. Jim Hobson, you're a superb photographer. Superb indeed. And now you can begin to see the cars even moving along the ground down there, the highways. See the wings on the rear of the plane as we sit. Isn't that beautiful? And lower. Superb view. Oh man. Remember, hon, I haven't flown on a plane since Vietnam. Since I came home from the military service last time. Here we go. Yes. Forgive me for the tilting of the camera here. Isn't that beautiful? Here we go. Touchdown. Isn't that beautiful? Boom. Feel that, huh? Yes. Now we're about to taxi.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Mexico Air Force Base.
Tinker Air Force Base, Oklahoma. Well, we even have a military honor guard, hon. A military honor guard for us. Can you believe that? Here we go, hon. Saluting. See that? Isn't that something?
Sports update on the Cubs. There's a road you should get a hold of Sam for the opener. He was going to the opener out of the Cubs.
Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? United States Air Force Military Welcoming Committee. Well, here we are, huh? We're deplaning. briefing room, the conference room of the U.S. Air Force Logistics Command here. And we're about to be briefed on various things. As you can see some of the distinguished visitors, guests. We've just deplaned, as you can see, and we're entering
Right by the coffee farm.
E.D. Beadham, and Company, President.
You want regular?
We are pleased that you could join us here and start your tour at a place that's a very vital cog in the support of the United States Air Force. And we want to run through a few graphs. This will also show you some of the ways that we have in getting information out to the various visitors that we have. Even some of our own military people who come in here for conferences as we're working the support programs for the various airplanes and engines we support around the world. We are a combat organization. We're a very vital part of the team. One of the themes that we do in the military is to not say that the pilots themselves and the air crew members are really the tip of the spear and they're the top dog that make things happen. We most certainly have appreciated over the years the importance of the maintenance role, the supply role, and the various support roles in getting the job done. It's really a teamwork type operation. Here at Oklahoma City, we are a very high-tech organization. You will see as you take some tours in about 30 to 35 minutes what we're doing in the jet engine repair and the kinds of sophisticated equipment that we use in the repair and how we go about the job. We hire lots of engineers who do the analysis and the evaluation and the prediction of when we need to do a maintenance action, when parts and so forth are going to fail. And we here at a place like Oklahoma City make the decisions on whether airplanes will fly or whether they will be grounded until we get a certain maintenance action completed. So I hope you will get an appreciation for the kinds of technology that your tax dollar we're spending here in order to get the job done. But we most certainly are a vital cog in the combat organizations of the United States Air Force. Our major command, my bosses and so forth, are located at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, Dayton, Ohio. And our command is Air Force Logistics Command. And logistics being a conglomerate term for the maintenance and supply and transportation, warehousing and procurement actions. And I'll tell you a little bit about each one of those major functions during the course of our discussion this morning. But here at Oklahoma City Air Logistics Center, many of you remember seeing patches and so forth of the famous 8th Air Force and 15th Air Force in World War II. And all of these patches and symbols have the yellow Air Force wings. And then there are certain symbols in the center of that. And I would just ask you to look and imagine there's a gear and a cog that surrounds that star, and that represents the logistics business. Nothing happens unless our business turns so that airplanes and engines and parts, missiles and so forth will work. It's a very neat symbol that describes what we do. There are 5 major depots. We call them air logistics centers in the United States Air Force. And today I will make sure that we don't use acronyms. I'll make sure that I describe what things mean so that you will get some appreciation of what we're talking about today. But we have a depot in the southeastern United States at Warner Robins Air Logistics Center near Macon, Georgia. And they have a particular piece of the support action. They have their weapon systems that they're responsible from cradle to grave in the logistics support. For example, they manage the F-15 fighter, the C-141 cargo airplane, and the C-130 airplane. They also have lots of maintenance actions dealing with the electronics, both the bombing navigation equipment as well as the
and which we'll see later in the day, and we run it there to verify that indeed everything we think we did to it, we did right. We've got a large amount of material in this building. You can see this vertical stack that have lots of commonality. And you can see that we have these engines in various states of components out there. These engines are still new, they're still very reliable, and so we're overhauling very few of these at the present time. We're right now concentrating on our primary efforts of correcting all of the repaired technical data and training our people. And within about another 3 to 4 years, it will be my opinion that this whole area that we're...
There's another one delivering right there.
These are some shops that you see along the left, horizontal type milling machines and one thing or another to work that problem that I told you of trying to restore. Those happens is that when you have old airplanes, take for example like the B-52 is a 25-year-old airplane, things wear out in it. It's difficult to find, if not impossible, replacement parts, so you end up having to resort to large multi-axis, what I refer to as a multi-axis milling machine, the ones like you see in the doorway, and you can see one there. We have 8 types and models of engines that we work here, and this is one of them. The shop is divided into 3 pieces, which I'll show you in just a moment. The first section is the rotor shop, and as the name would imply, it's where we build up the rotors, rotating parts of the engines, or rotors. We have a second section, which is the sub-assembly, where we build up the major cases, some of which you've seen as you're looking at our repair process. And then subsequently, we marry those together into a complete engine. What we'd like to do, even though it's a large group, we'll walk through the shop, and I'll try and describe that in a little more detail as we go.
And then you have the rejection. You have to take it out. Now, one of the things that we have to do is you can share some of those. The reason that that's a good deal is because each one of those blades is hundreds of dollars a piece, each blade. Now, depending on the level of maintenance, it can be done by the user. The line we're walking down is the compressor line.
Engine. We're in the warehouse, by the way, of the place that repairs the engines, overhauls. This is the engine for one of the most advanced fighters in the country. It's called an F-16. This is the engine for that F-16 fighter.
Actually, this is the engine, but then the afterburner will give that much length. It makes it quite a long assembly.
This is the final plumbing area. This is where we install the tubing and the accessories, the gearbox, fuel condition building, and we'll go out to our test facility. You folks are scheduled to see that, and running late, I guess we'll see that this afternoon. There's a couple of questions that I might repeat just for the interest of those who weren't close enough to hear the question. One question was, when an engine comes in and you disassemble it and you repair it, are the parts then go back into that same engine? The answer to that is no. The part becomes an individual part, just like if you were building one from scratch, if you will. And the other question was, how about items that have time on them? How do you marry them all?
People, as well as aerial refueling. You'll note the long boom sticking out the back of the airplane, and that's the device that's used to conduct aerial refuel. It's called programmed depot maintenance. It's a prescribed event. It has to take place every 48 months on plane that you see. Whether it be, by the way, a Piper Cub or anything like that, small privately owned airplanes, or those of you may have one, you know that the FAA requires a periodic inspection of the airplane. What you see here is a complex version of that. Now this area over here to the right is more of the same. These are 135s. The only difference is it's a moving line, if you will. We bring the airplanes in at the south end of the building there, that door way down at the far end. And the aircraft then hopscotch, if you will, or move. They stay on each one of these dock stations for...
Oh, are we?
Could be.
Here. Everybody think I'm... Yeah.
Hey, this is great. Say a few words for the waiting public.
I'm certainly, well, this is an experience of a lifetime to be able to see this from a civilian standpoint rather than a military man. So this is a great opportunity for me, and I hope that the kids see this as an opportunity when they go in to take full advantage educationally and otherwise of their military careers.
Paul, Paul's from Naperville, and I'm from...
This is our escort. There's also an escort in front of the bus. We're crossing the runway, about to depart for lunch. I don't know where the building is. But as you can see, that's the building there is a mile long, and we just toured that whole building. The length of it is a mile. And we saw all sorts of fascinating things such as engines, planes, etc. We are now in the elegant dining room of the officers' quarters. So you can imagine, this is the Commanding General's quarters, along with the officers. This is their dining room. This is where they're eating. And this is what we're having for lunch. See that we have tea, and the waitress, pretty waitress. General in the Air Force, Brigadier.
Yep, that's Hey, Jim.
Disconnects I mentioned on the thrust frame just plugs in on the back side of the stationary portion of the frame. So just a couple of minutes after you come through the door, you're ready to run the engine. And obviously we want to tie up the cell itself the minimum amount of time, so this configuration helps us do that. What I'd like to do, incidentally, the air is sucked in through the locus, you see here on the front of the cell, and it's expelled through the augmenter tube you see on the rear side of the engine. What we'll do in a moment is go into the test cell where we have an engine running and give you an opportunity to see that and then describe a little bit more in that junction. Out of Lincoln Heath, England. So we'll get this off the test cell today. We'll prep it tomorrow. It'll probably be on a flight to England Friday night or Saturday morning.
Obviously just slid across.
So it's actually running right now, right? The engine's actually running.
We're looking at an engine that has about 25,000 pounds of thrust.
That's not the same one we were looking at. When I get the mag safe,
No. Well, yeah, this is it, isn't it?
Once it cranks on, yeah, you'll be able to see it in a minute when he gets up to the AB portion.
I got you pointing at the
If you
front
know,
instead of the back here.
Most of you know how much noise a jet engine makes, so the acoustics in this building is pretty good. You can't hardly hear it running when you're in the control room. It's a little louder outside, however, and cause premature cracking.
This particular engine has 5 stages of afterburner on it, which the burner does, of course, it reignites the vapors being expelled from the general engine and creates some additional thrust from that. Feeds a little more fuel into the exhaust vapors, reignites it, and then it provides the additional thrust. Composite material. Wow. Many of the new engines do.
See it now?
There she goes.
Look at that.
This engine has quite a bit of titanium. It's got a lot of steel, a lot of high cobalt steel.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see the engine now going into afterburner. You can see the fire being expelled.
You see it, Sharon? Step up here.
In AV, we only stay in AV 5 minutes.
That far enough?
This is the paint hangar, Nancy, where they paint all of the aircraft.
You would just come right on in, please, and gather right over in this spot. This is one half of the paint facility that you're in. There's another dock on the other side that's the same size as this for all practical purposes. And I'm going to let Mr. Charles Campbell here, the supervisor of this particular facility, say a few words to you. The Chicago Civic Leader.
Supervisor, and this facility that you're standing in, we have about 300 people that work in here on a 24-hour day shift, 6 days a week. We work around the clock. Give you a little bit of an idea of what we do in this facility.
This, Nancy, waiting, is a B-1 bomber. And also, this is the owner, this gentleman is the owner of the Billy Goat, Nancy, and he wants a copy. Would you tell us what your name is and what you do?
My name's Sam Sians. I'm the Billy Goat.
Very good. He owns the Billy Goat, a very famous
I'm the
restaurant in
one who
Chicago,
take the goods
Nancy.
to the Cub spot.
Okay, and this is the B-52, B-51 bomber, or B-1 bomber.
Some of the finished products we have. We'll have several airplanes that are almost ready or have just come back from a flight test. And generally speaking, the first flight test, the airplanes are ready to be delivered. Once in a while, we'll have maybe a rigging problem in the autopilot flight controls. We'll have to refly. But generally speaking, we're able to sell them the first flight out of all of this after the rework and the painting. But most of all, I want you to see how the paint styles have changed over the years, from silvery planes to now we have camouflage. The reason you need the camouflage airplanes is that bombers go into enemy territory at low level, just a few hundred feet off the ground, and sort of hug the terrain. Enemy fighters are above, and they look down, and we want to make sure the airplanes blend in with the trees, the soil, and so forth.
Get in there now.
General, would you please tell them what your name is, sir?
My name is Major General William P. Bowden, Oklahoma City Air Logistics Center, and we're standing before a B-52 that's undergoing extensive depot overhaul. The ship will be like new when we finish it. Over.
Thank you, Jeff. Can I get a picture with you, General? Can I get a picture? You know how to do this? Right here.
Press that button.
Right. You see the green light, you know it's working. Here, hold on. Okay. And that's a zoom in and out there. A zoom in and out.
Right on up.
Get your copy? Sure. All right.
You got it. Thank you.
Good.
That's all right. Let me run one for you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's
Great.
fun. They're on top of the B-52, sanding it down, repainting it, doing whatever other maintenance work needs to be done. They're on the top of the right wing, man. Isn't that neat? Superb. I mean, I've seen these things before, but never this close. Never.
That's where he carries a rack, if you will, of what's called air-launched cruise missiles. The very same kind of missile we took out of Europe, the ground-launched one, the sister of that thing, if you will, fits on a rack of those which you can stick some in the bomb bay. And that thing is a weapon in itself, but it's a propelled weapon. It's got its own engine and one thing and another, guidance system, and it's a nuclear...
Nancy, we are now entering the plane. The plane of planes. This is the inside of a B-52. Monsters. Check it out. Look at that. Isn't that something? All of the wiring, I mean, tons and tons of it. Now we're in the cockpit area. I'm sorry for going so fast. There are a lot of people. And we need to see this to believe it.
Hey, Sharon?
Yes.
How about
Inside the cockpit of a B-52 bomber. I'm going to help this lady up.
Go ahead.
You all right?
Ah.
We really are in the cockpit.
Kill yourself just standing up. Oh my goodness.
We really are in here. One seat for the co-pilot, one for the pilot. Look at that. Yeah?
Unbelievable.
Even a gas pedal. A wall frame, a gas pedal. The throttle, just like a car, you know.
How about all these?
That's the throttle.
Sharon. As we take off, right?
Yeah, I hope you can fly this.
How about, let's see, 4 times 3, 6, 24 dials?
24.
24 dials. We've got a multitude.
And don't forget the ones above you.
Oh Lord.
What about all the buttons over here that I'm hiding and all the dials and buttons?
You have a license to fly this airplane?
The steering wheel.
Sharon, stand and put your head out the hole up there.
Right.
Maybe someone take a picture.
Man, this is...
My longest flight's 17 hours. We could carry 2 pilots.
Yeah.
Keep going. In peacetime, the Air Force won't let me fly longer than 17 hours. There's nothing that important. They don't want me to get tired and take one of these suckers
17
in.
is a long time.
Hey, it gets to be a long time.
Yeah,
You get good at slowing down the brain waves and trying to make the hours go fast. Crossword puzzles you get into, because I can just put them right here and do crossword puzzles all day. Our complement is pilot, co-pilot, a flight engineer, and a navigator. Okay? Flight engineer's got all the hard mental gymnastic stuff. He's got 8 generators he keeps track of. Okay? He's got 7 fuel tanks he keeps track of. All the air conditioning and pressurization for the back, and they're always wanting it to be hotter or colder in each of these zones. Okay, and so he's playing with those all day. The cooling, those panels back there are for cooling all their electronic equipment.
All right, gang, if I could get you to shift now, we got the next one.
You know, that's a bunch of military jargon, I know to you. It's got to be into it. But clearly, when we pass a certain boundary, we fall under the command relationship of the entities. Now, our airplane operating instructions really are still neutral and pretty static.
It's really an intelligence operation when you get to the field.
That's an F-16 over here on that far site area where fighters will line up and sight up their guns. Back there?
Yeah, it was like kind of like a target.
Yeah.
And flying on.
That's an F-16.
Well, they'll... What kind of aircraft? This is an F-4.
These are F4s.
These are going to be replaced here. This is a guard unit now, a state-operated guard unit. They're going to be replaced by F-16s.
In fact, there is an F-16 over there.
Right.
Right there?
Yes.
Right over there, where the people are. Yeah.
This F-16 that you're going to see where the lights are flashing, look at that view.
Yeah. You know, the general saying we got different ideas.
C-130 hunt. Ooh, that's neat.
Looks like a nice set.
I'm John Russell. I've been here approximately 10 years and know a little bit about our particular operation. I want to welcome you here on this very windy day. You may be used to it, and by the time you get home, I can assure you that some of this wind will have gotten all the way to Chicago and welcome you back. It's probably going to be a little bit colder at that time. We are a member of the Reserve Forces. We are General Dynamics F-16, and we should have approximately 20 of those aircraft. We have people off at school. We have training going on right here in this building during the working days. We have an FPD or field training schoolhouse. 17 instructors are here. Many of our people are in school as well as the flying that goes on day to day here. We presently are flying the F-4 aircraft, which is behind me. It's been around for quite some time. These particular models came out in 1966. We have approximately 24 of them here. And at the same time, we are starting to get rid of these aircraft. We have 3 aircraft that are presently en route to Korea. We have approximately 1,400 people in this unit. And they work here not all the time by any means. And at no one time do we ever have 14 people here at the base. I don't think we'd want to see that many in action. We break up our weekends, but we do have one main drill weekend, which occurs each month. And egress. We'd like to break you into separate groups, if we could, so that you can, in fact, ask any questions you may have of any of these gentlemen. I think egress has another room that they'd like to take you into. And we have provided 2 stands here by the aircraft. I'll try and hover in this area.
I'll take a group over here and tell you a little bit about what I do. I want to get up in here to the aircraft first. We'll get a few people here before I get going, I guess.
Get all the way up.
I guess I'll better get started. This is, I work directly with the pilot. And what we do here is we fit, we build, and we maintain all the equipment that they need to fly with, depending on the areas. It's what you use. This is what they call an NI exposure suit. You'll notice it's kind of a rubbery material. But what it's for is anytime they go overseas and the water temperature is 50 degrees or less, they have to put on this liner here, which will absorb the sweat. Then they will put on this exposure suit. Then they will put on their regular flight suit, their boots, and then they can go ahead and fly over the water. And what this is for is going to give them an extra 10 minutes if they have to eject into the water to get into their one-man life raft. And that's all this is for. And most of the time it's just when they fly over the northern Atlantic. This is their regular flight helmets, and everybody up there has, of course, everybody has different shaped heads. So we put this little contraption on top of their head, and then we pour a chemical in there, and it comes out like a little hat. And we cut it, we put foam on it, we leather it, and then that way it's exactly fitted to their particular head. And we have 4 different sizes of mask, and then we build up the mask, we fit it to them. If they have any problems with it, you can see the microphone inside there. The ear cups are here, and any problems that they have with the helmet or mask, we of course have to troubleshoot and find it. This is the harness that they wear when they step into the seat of the aircraft and sit down. Oh, I'm sorry. And what this is if they have to punch out of the aircraft, you'll see these releases right here. And they hook into the aircraft. If you notice up here on the airplane, see the little green thing back up in the seat, back up there? That is the parachute container itself, and it's got straps on it, and they hook it into here. Then when they put this on, they wear it just like they would a coat, and then they'll strap this around their legs, and if they have to punch out of the airplane, well, this is their seat, folks, right here. And they'll ride with this until they get down to the ground. They also wear what they call a G suit. As we know, these fighter aircraft pull a lot of G's. And what this does, when they pull G's, it takes the blood from their upper torso and it moves it down to their feet. Well, the aircraft is equipped automatically, when it starts pulling these G's, it will inflate this G suit, as we call it, and push the the blood back up to their head, and they'll wear it like this. You put it on here, and this is fitted to a particular crew member who is a lot smaller than I. And then they also have it here, and they zip it down the side, so they have a bladder here, and a bladder here, so when they pull their G-forces, it pushes the blood back up, and of course they can fly their mission, pull out of their dive bombing, toss, and things like that. Pardon me? Right, well, what it does is it'll inflate it, and then when they're done pulling their G, it'll deflate it also. So they don't even have to worry about that. And we're getting into the chemical warfare stuff real heavy here too. And you'll notice that this helmet is the same as this one, but what we do here, they can also wear their regular flight helmet with the chemical warfare mask. And the guys really don't like to fly with it very well because they have to have filtered air, which is filtered through this filter. And they'll put this on, and I'm not going to do that. And we get an airtight seal on their face, and this clips into this harness right here, so they can clip it onto this little bracket right here so it's out of the way. They clip it onto there, and then what they do is plug into the aircraft system, and then they hook up to the aircraft oxygen through this little thing right here. They pop this off, the hose comes up, so they're getting aircraft oxygen filtered and coming up in here where no chemicals can get at them at all. Then also we take care of survival vests. In the vest you have a radio, flares, just all the survival items that they'll need if in fact they punch out. In different states like Oklahoma.
This is some of the armament. Missiles. Surface to air, air to air. Beautiful, huh?
They send out a signal to home, and it works in conjunction with the radar slide of the aircraft to get an effective missile.
Mm-hmm. Get in there. Get in there. Right there. Right there.
These are bumps.
Mm-hmm.
Down the ground, and that's what exploded. Those must be the new ones over there. This is all
yeah. Boy, isn't this a beauty, though? It's gorgeous, huh?
You know what they do? They sell them now.
Huh?
They sell those.
Yeah. They sell them to friendlies. Allied forces. Look how heavy that bomb looks, huh? This is a clip, Nancy, that they use to hold the bombs on until they want to release their load. You see them in the war movies that you and I watch all the time. Well, this is what it looks like up close and in real life. Hmm? Pretty. Have to walk into an F-16. Watch as we go. Here we go. Up the stairs. Up the stairs. 1, 2, 3. Go ahead.
Where you see the 3 kill tanks, we can also have ordnance.
Feel like you're driving a sports car? Sports car, you have your little service.
That's the Major General, Commanding General of this base. 2 stars, see him? Real live, honest to goodness, all-American, red-blooded general. She loves it. It's like a little red Corvette, hon.
Is it automatic? Oh no. Before I climb out.
She's about to take off on
I'm about to take off, okay.
with her armament.
With or without? Can you imagine ejecting out of this? Okay. It didn't flash again.
All right. There we are. I gotcha.
Bonsai.
Hey, Davey, don't you wish you were in one of these F-16s?
Not me. I forgot my G-suit.
Just imagine that. Yeah, you're real good on this one.
Oh, yeah.
Real good.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at
I
that.
even zoomed in for you.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. There again. And I mean, he looks good, doesn't he? Sitting in there, taking off.
I'm ready to take off.
Ladies and gentlemen, he is sitting in a F-16 fighter bomber. USA.
Are you coming along?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Have you dropped your load yet?
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
He's dropping the load. There he goes. All right.
Did you get your room key?
No, I didn't. Jim Hobson.
Mr. Hobson. Yeah, I saw you on the Chicago Sun-Times.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What is the model number on that plane?
I'm sorry.
General, what's the model number of that plane right there?
Okay, that's an F-4 aircraft,
okay.
and it's a 2-seated airplane. It has a pilot in the front seat, and it has a navigator bombardier in the second seat, and they do a whale of a job out here.
Thank you, General. You heard it straight from the horse's mouth, huh? Oh, yeah. An F-4 fighter bomber.
Fake, and Bird grabbed his arm. Bird's second foul. Clarence Jackson will shoot 2.
I think Mr. Bird is making a big difference underneath those boards.
Certainly is intimidating. Rolls around and in. 46-22. Good shot of him from the free throw line. Now he put the pressure on. Byron Wilson looking over the situation. Nice lead pass. They get it across Garfield Park. Clarence Jackson sticking that knee out. His first foul. Lester Rivers not happy with the call and not happy with just the way the game has been going. I'm sure they didn't expect to come out and really play like they have. I'm sure he expected to play a lot better and didn't expect the firepower of Garfield Park, which they continue. Morris Fuller hits his 8th point. Lewis up court. Montgomery underneath, and a foul is going to be called on Parrish Edwards. That's his 3rd.
Garfield Ball Club looks like it'd hold its own with any high school ball club.
I think so. Both of these teams, really. I think it's just Anderson is just having an off time so far.
Oh, I'm sure you're right. I mean, if things were going right for Anderson, there's no doubt about it. Both are nice ball clubs. It's just that Anderson isn't getting uncorked.
A foul on Thomas Bird, his third. And in the ball game is Donnell Rhymes take his spot, as well as number 9 Eric Jenkins. Jenkins came in, scored 5 points, did a really good job. Their subs have been very good for Garfield Park.
The guys that are supposed to be getting it done for Anderson, I'm putting it in there. Jackson, Mallet.
Missed them both. Looking around, trying to find someone. He's got his man. And they'll work it around. Man-to-man defense is the first time we've seen this for. Oh. Mid-air collision. Anderson went to a man-to-man for the first time in the game. Jeremy Lewis, not enough, but nice tip in there by number 22, Clarence Jackson, excuse me. 48-25 with 4:23 left in the third quarter. Foul called. And a call on Clarence Jackson, his first foul, or second foul, excuse me. And we are now in the bonus. With 4:08 left in the third quarter, it's going to be a long ball. Nope. It is going to be a 1-on-1, yes. The referee's got it all straight.
It's going to be nice work with you taking a picture of us trying to take a picture.
It's a movie camera. There's your movies.
I know, I'm going to
Can we try one more?
This is our mechanical engineering instructor.
Musical group called the Sound Stations. They're all high school students from one of our local high schools out here in Midwest City, Colorado High School. I think you'll find them a very talented group. They perform for many of our Civic Leader tours. Their director for this evening is Miss Suzanne Taylor. General Walsh wanted us to bring these young folks to you because they do represent something that Oklahoma is very proud of, and that's our young people. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to the Sound Stations.
I got the music in me.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to do a song made popular by in the 50s and 60s by Mr. Elvis Presley called Jailhouse Rock. Boys threw a party at the county jail. Prison down was there and they began to wail. Joe was jumping and then began to swing. Shouldn't hurt the time down there, but I think that's right.
Now I'd like to do for you a song called Farmer Tan. For those of you from out of town, a farmer tan is when you leave your t-shirt on all summer and your neck and your arms and face get dark but your chest stays white. That's the definition of a farmer tan. I would now like to do for you our tribute to this proud Oklahoma tradition.
The sun is hot, it burns all day, but I don't need no band de soleil. I'm on the sand, girls at hand, I got a secret plan.
What's your secret plan?
The sun don't hurt, cause I got on a t-shirt, I got a farmer tan. Farmer tan, on my neck and arms, farmer tan, the secret of my charms. Every girl wants a man with a farmer tan, farmer tan. All over themselves, and they get to on biceps, ivory chest. Real legs, the best girls ever seen.
strangers climbed old Rocky Top, looking for a moonshine still. Strangers, they come down from Rocky Top, thinking they never will. Corn don't grow at all on Rocky Top, curse to Rocky Life Farm. That's why all the folks on Rocky Top get their corn from a job. On a Rocky Top, you'll always be home sweet home to me. Good old Rocky Top, Tennessee. Rocky Top, Tennessee, in Tennessee. I've had years of tramp out city life, tramp like a duck in a pen. All I know is it's a pity life can't be simple again. On old Rocky Top, you'll always be home sweet home to me. Good old Rocky Top, Tennessee. Rocky Top, Tennessee. You know what to do. Well, I got a girl that